Almost over 3.5 total.
Yep. All right, the second stream is now live. Look for the pinned tweet in our chat and let us know that you've joined us on the new feed. We're doing this because YouTube doesn't archive anything over 12 hours, and we just hit the 12-hour mark on this first stream. The pinned message is the one where you can continue watching. I already see some people hopping over. We're going to kill the main stream in just a few minutes, so you are hereby warned. It's a bizarre situation, on. It's a first for us.
It is a first for us.
We've covered, we did like about 30 World Series of Poker final tables. Never had to switch because we hit the 12-hour mark. I think you did a single day of 10K PLO that was
that took way too long.
10 hours. This has been over 12. So yeah, I see lots of people moving over. Yeah, you can close the 12-hour stream if you're still watching it there. I'm gonna shut that down in just a minute. It's the same exact feed that we have over on the news side. Love seeing everyone jumping over. Love seeing it. By the way, smash like on the new feed. We're going to start this whole thing all over again. We're going to start this whole thing all over again. Already 300 people watching on the new feed. You know what I'm worried about, Donnie? That, you know, of the 3,000 people that are watching the old stream, half of them are asleep on the couch right now.
Yeah, they're just passed out, you know. Maybe we should yell. Wake them up.
Wake them up a little bit, yeah. All right, we got action running right now. All right, most people are starting to switch on over. It almost feels like we're starting a new tournament now by starting a new stream, which is kind of funny. Let's see if we can do 12 more hours to start a third stream.
Haxton here does have the best of it. He's got the better kicker with that 2-pair. Comes with 700,000 on the end, half pot bet. Bleznick also has kings and nines, but Bleznick is out kicked here.
10 seconds. Time extension.
All right, in 4 minutes, I'm going to shut down the old stream at 1:15 a.m.
10 seconds.
So, final call here for those that are still watching on the original stream. Just hop on over to the link that is posted in the chat. If you're watching it anywhere else, this doesn't affect you. You know, if you're on Twitch or if you're on Pluto or, you know, any of the other platforms, doesn't affect you whatsoever. You can just continue watching. This is only for YouTube because otherwise we won't be able to archive the whole thing. Donnie, what's happening at the table?
Well, Bleznick's in the tank, and he's talking to himself right now. Haxton bet his 2-pair on the end, half pot, and oh, Bleznick flings it in, stands up. He's going to see the bad news.
Wow. Good in. Thanks.
I think I heard Bleznick mumble something along the lines of, like, you wouldn't value bet a king here. So, incorrect read there from the Blez, because Haxton was
kings and
value
sevens too.
betting king.
Wow. Two extensions there.
One from me as well.
It was fun. I'm actually free rolling.
Jared, I'm taking 2 extensions.
I'm out. I'm free rolling. You know that? I'm free rolling. Yeah. Check the. I'm free. He shot. The king, ace, king, 7.
I have like 2-9.
You have 2-9.
I'm free rolling tournament.
So 9-25. For this.
The only thing I'll say is
6-2.
I'm free rolling what I have left. I'm literally free rolling what I have left.
In a sense, we all are.
No, I am, because you have me covered. I'm free rolling the entire tournament right now.
50,000, sir.
Wow. Just another hand. Played differently than everyone else. I could have folded the river, but still, I'm free rolling what I have left. Good hand, Ike.
Thank you.
It was a ridiculous river.
10 seconds.
250.
250.
Pot it.
Here we go.
850.
Wow.
250 from Haxton on the button. King Jack 10-8. Bleznick finds 2 aces. It's also got the King 5 suited in there.
850?
Yes,
He
sir.
3 bets to 850.
I'm proud of myself.
I'm proud of you too.
Does Haxton think this is any sort of, tilt?
I got, still have 1.3 behind.
Thank you.
10 seconds.
I'm proud of you too.
Fold.
Fold.
Haxton gives it up.
Lays it down.
The whole
All right.
planet just, they see kings up on the turn. No, the whole planet, they see kings up. They're just all, literally. I'm free rolling my entire stack. I turned kings and 7s, by the way.
Ike, you had King 7 also, right?
I
You
did.
had king 7, right? I had kings up on the turn. I had kings and 7s, like. And if I bet the turn, you're not folding. And you're
True.
putting it in, and I'm out of the tournament. I had kings
played
and
it
7s.
great.
What?
You played it great.
Yeah. The whole world's probably like, well, how does he not bet the turn?
You know he had Kings and 7s?
This is.
I
mean,
think he had kings and 7s, Donnie.
incredible.
All right.
I had kings and 7s. Wow.
What did he have?
Kings and
Too bad,
7s.
Kings and 7.
Kings up.
Did you have 2 more cards as well? Were they good?
The other two were
The other 2 were not so good?
not that great.
All right, I'm shutting down the initial stream. So please join us. Use the pinned tweet in the chat to join the new stream. Nothing changes. I'm just going to keep talking, and the new feed is going to keep on rolling. And we're going to be with you here until the sun comes up.
Call.
All right, we are now only live on the new feed. Smash that like button. Let's spread the word. People in Australia and Europe, this must be prime time for you. Maybe some breakfast viewing if you are in London or something. PLO, Super High Rollerball continues. 3-handed play. Chidwick and Bleznick tied. Haxton once again back in the lead. Still anyone's game. We've been going back and forth for over 12 hours. But we're not going to go home until we know who wins this thing. Much love to everyone who is still with us, or who is back with us after, maybe graduating in the meantime. Who knows?
Did you know he had Kings and 7s?
I've heard a rumor that it was indeed kings and 7s.
Oh, that's amazing. It really is.
Yes, sir.
You really checked the turn with King 7?
I don't
Really?
believe it. I think he's lying to us.
King and 7.
What?
You checked the turn with King 7.
Chidwick is in full-on
Nobody in the
troll
world
mode.
checks King 7.
What?
Nobody in the world checks King 7. Even you.
How do you not believe me when I fucking? What do you think I paid you off with? I had to have a hand.
Could have been Queens.
What?
Could have been Queens.
I had you on Queens as well.
You had what?
I had you on Queens.
Did you?
Pocket Queens, yeah. That's what I thought.
Listen, the one.
I hope we continue to have, at all the final tables, Chidwick just comes with the one-liners. Like, it's a new thing for him. I like it. Usually doesn't speak much, but it's great.
It is. It is really great. I love it. Wow, much love to everyone just jumping over to the new stream on YouTube. It's awesome. We've been live for over 12 hours. Feeling okay. Hour 10, I was a little bit down, a little bit tired, but maybe that coffee plus Coke Zero has sort of brought me back to life. At least for the next hour, I'll be fine.
This stream has been all over the map.
It has been. It absolutely has been.
Check. Check.
Don't know Bleznick's fourth card, so percentage is not on the screen.
Pot.
300.
But he's coming with a pot-sized bet here. 300,000 on the turn. Haxton going to give it up quickly.
All right.
Bleznick emphatically
67?
flings his cards in.
Huh? One thing I don't do is I don't lie about my hand, ever. So I'm either going to not tell you, but I'm not going to lie about my hand.
I'm fully expecting him to follow up now, saying the exact same thing again, even though Chidwick agreed.
Yeah.
Here's a look at the tournament summary. 100K buy-in, 38 entries, 7 cashed. Bust outs today. Isaac Kempton, Aaron Katz, Frank Ravello, and Chino Ream all got paid handsomely. Aaron Katz, the only player who got eliminated, who's still here.
Just hanging out on the floor.
Yep, just hanging out. You know what I love, Donnie?
The real winners of this tournament are the viewers.
What's that?
I
Questionable.
mean, they
Stevie.
made 7 figures in that one hand earlier. They must be like,
The viewers.
they must have made 9 figures by now, right?
On what?
Just seeing all of your hands.
No,
They
not
made
my-
7
no, no,
figures
no, no. It
in
was
one
just-
hand, and we played like, what,
Do you know what I had there?
200
or no?
hands?
Did they tell you?
Hmm?
Did they tell you what I had or no?
250.
You had 10s?
I mean, I'm
What?
fully here for Troll Chidwick.
Oh
I
my
mean,
God.
It's the most incredible thing I've ever seen in poker.
If this is what it takes
What?
I never would have played
to
it
get the
that way.
full Chidwick experience,
You saw I had, you know what I had?
Yeah, I would
Nobody
have just
would.
bet the turn.
That's what I said. So I wasn't lying, was I?
You weren't.
I played it good.
You played it great.
okay, Donnie, it takes 12 hours for Chidwick and Haxton to become trolls, and I'm fully here for it.
You know,
The fatigue, Donnie, that's what we were missing. Haxton, by the way.
They're probably just over it.
Did you keep the ante? Is that what's going on there?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Trying to make it easy on you.
Vincent says,
No problem, I just
Bleznick should
wanted-
have his own show.
one
Great
thing I won't do,
entertainment.
Chidwick, is I'm not going to lie about my caught my hand, especially when they're getting televised.
I told you.
It's especially funny to lie about your hand.
What?
When it's, it's especially funny to lie about your hand when it's being televised.
Oh yeah, no, I know.
actually.
I'm not going to lie about my hand.
I might.
He folded
But-
aces and queens there.
So,
You know that or no?
yep.
He had aces and queens that hand.
Which hand, what?
The hand had tens. He had aces up,
Mm-hmm.
and I had a queen in my hand.
You did.
Your hand was worse than his hand.
What?
Your hand was worse than his hand. And you won the pot.
Fold.
Pretty impressive.
Oh my God. It's incredible.
Chidwick, he's actually a human. He's talking. I don't understand. You haven't talked in 10 hours. I like it. What? Yeah. 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 No. 2-7.
Chidwick limps the small blind. King, Jack, 10-7. Decent one here for Haxton in the big blind. Ace, King, King, Deuce. Suited in spades. Chidwick's got diamonds.
300.
Pot size raise to 300K from Haxton.
It's waking me up a little.
What is he doing? He was like just on the floor.
I cannot do one push-up. How about that? I don't know how to do. I can't do an actual push-up. I'm not kidding. Like I actually can't do one push-up.
Chidwick makes the call while looks like everyone else in the studio is going to start doing push-ups.
You're laughing, but it's true. I actually can't. I cannot do.
The
an
dealer
actual
can't even
correct push-up.
contain himself. Looks like
Haxton
one of
is laughing, too.
One of Bleznick's employees is trying to do a push-up, and there's Bleznick's brother who's now doing push-ups. So yeah.
Oh, good
Yeah,
form there.
Seabass is in shape.
What is that's not a push-up.
No?
That's like a backstretch, you know. What's going on?
It's almost 1:30 a.m. in Las Vegas.
10 seconds.
People are trying to keep the blood flow going.
Oh, they better pay you well for this tournament, man.
425.
425.
This is just like. This is too much, dude.
You know, that's partly up to you, Jared.
What?
How well Paul is paid is partly up to us.
What do you mean?
And you can tip.
Huh?
You can tip.
Oh.
He works for tips.
Does he?
Yeah, that's how tournaments work.
Oh, I didn't know.
Like everything else in the casino.
Okay. Well, I guess, Paul, you're rooting for me then. I'll tell you that, you're rooting for me to win. Never mind. I'm joking.
Is he calling Chidwick and Haxton bad tippers?
I mean, I think he
I got 2-8, Ike.
implies that.
That's good news for me.
I got 3 2s.
Two spades?
I love the fact that we switched over to a brand new
I
stream
had a spade.
at 1:30 in the morning, and we're already back up to 2,500 viewers on the feed. It's amazing.
One hand.
One hand?
Still doing push-ups.
Yeah.
In the
I
background
cannot
here.
believe this match.
Final hand of the
exciting.
level.
It's just, no, you know what? To Chidwick's point, it's no matter what, it's been fun. It actually, I can get behind that. It's fun.
I agree.
More fun for Ike right now, but it's fun.
Right now,
You know
I'm
what?
having
The viewers,
We've
are-
all had our time having fun.
no matter what, you know, we're all winners. It's good. Talk lower.
Talk lower.
250.
250.
Hold.
I'm not a fan of these breaks, as everyone knows, but we are going to take another break here. Players are going to probably do some more push-ups, and then the
Unbelievable.
action will
Quite a
resume.
match.
What a match.
We are closing in on crowning a
minutes?
champion, and if I repeat that on every break, then it might happen at some point. Super High Rollerball PLO, still three-handed, still anyone's game. Who's going to win it, though? You got to stay tuned. You got to keep watching. Maybe pour yourself a coffee, or, I don't know, maybe time for a beverage. Anyway, we'll be back in about 10 minutes. See you soon.
Take your game to the next level with GTO Wizard, the #1 app for poker players. Start crushing at GTOWizard.com.
I'd rather sell sports cards.
Not everyone can do that.
Just an amazing line.
I mean, it's just so Bleznick to like, that's the punchline?
I'd rather sell sports cards.
Just amazing.
So
You
good.
travel here, and the time and the work, and I don't know how you do it. I'd rather just sell sports cards.
Chidwick here limping in. He could do either with this hand. We've seen him limp some buttons in spots where he could do either, just kind of playing small ball. He does let Haxton in with some weaker hands, but keeps the SPR a little bit lower. Or sorry, a little bit higher. Bleznick, interesting hand here. King, Queen, 7-5 double suited.
Pot.
Kind of a nice one.
I raise pot.
Spicy raise from Bleznick, but I kind of like it here. It's certainly going to kick out Haxton's hand, and a lot of the hands Haxton would have just calling that 40K more. And he's got some kind of netted features. Also note that having the king high suit and the queen high suit here is a lot better than if he'd had, say, king, queen of hearts, 7-5 of spades.
He's got 2 live suits. He's actually...
He's in good shape against Chidwick.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah. And Chidwick, of course, did not limp this hand to fold it.
By the way, the amazing thing about PLO, we're talking about how he's got Chidwick in really good. He's in good shape.
The 57-43.
Yeah,
and that kind of is significant pre-flop in this game where equities run so close.
And,
however, it's tides have turned here on the flop.
Yeah, no, for sure. And where Bleznick was hitting everything earlier on, and Chidwick was not. Chidwick was kind of treading water. Now we see Chidwick is just on fire.
And this could be costly for Bleznick if he decides to, start barreling here on the flop.
I mean, is he just going to, after betting, is he prepared to just check fold?
I would think so, but we've seen some unpredictable things from Bleznick. I might have been inclined to go for a small flop stab, but Bleznick perhaps recognizing that a lot of Chidwick's limp calling range is going to contain some overpairs, and perhaps also realizing that if he had aces here, he wouldn't always go for for 3 streets, so just trying to be consistent. And I like this from Stevie, just keeping the low equity hands that Bleznick could have in there, letting them turn some equity in. Bleznick's done exactly that, turning a queen high flush draw and a gut shot.
Yeah, Bleznick, by the way, went from low equity to no equity despite turning that flush draw. As Chidwick has turned this full house.
Right, so a 10 or a spade would be bad for Bleznick if he sees the river.
Chidwick giving Bleznick just enough rope to hang himself. Bleznick takes the bait.
There's some strange case that maybe a 10 or a spade could save Bleznick because then he doesn't bluff it off. Maybe he checks and maybe even finds a fold if Chidwick bets big, but that's...
On a paired board.
On a paired board, yeah. It's one of those interesting ones where if Bleznick feels like firing twice here, maybe a brick is actually more costly than an improvement. We'll see. We'll see how this one develops.
Well, you mentioned maybe some overpairs in Chidwick's range, and pocket jacks being one of those. Turns out in this case he had jack 9, but...
Right. Now, Chidwick's going to have a lot of hands here that are a lot weaker than this, of course. Queens, kings, various combination draws, that sort of thing.
The
a lot
fact
of
that
those
we
hands
have
want to call.
The fact that we have a king and a queen in our hand, and we block the kings and the queens...
Right.
Do we give him more jacks, 10s, or 9s?
You certainly could, yeah. I think that's definitely reasonable. You block some of the hands. As Bleznick, you block some of the hands that you want Chidwick to be calling with. Some of those combo draws, some of those king, king, queen, queen that might call one and fold the river. And definitely, I like Chidwick's just call on the turn because, again, he has a lot of these hands that are a little bit weaker that want to call, and he needs to protect that by also calling his full houses, especially in this low SPR situation where he can still get a lot of money in on the river. We do see the brick and Bleznick reaching for chips.
And this could be trouble. Bleznick can't go broke here. The most he can bet is 1.35 million.
Right. It's only as much trouble as he bets because no matter what he bets, he's going to fold to a raise. So it's this much trouble. What is that, 350?
It is exactly that much.
375.
I mean, and I guess, is he targeting what here?
Yeah, this is he's...
What is he trying to get to fold?
That's the thing is, like, Stevie's not going to fold kings and queens for this sizing. 10s would have had to have some additional equity to call the turn, but yeah, those could fold. Ace high doesn't call turn very often unless it also has spades.
And that's what I'm asking is basically, because you're giving Chidwick is getting a great price here.
Chidwick's getting a great price. Maybe he's hoping to fold out something like Jack 10, 8, 8,
Okay.
10, 10, 8, 10, 10, queen. But yeah, I don't think Chidwick's ever going to fold queens plus for this sizing. So A bit of an unusual line here from Bleznick. Chidwick just posturing. This is what he would do with any sort of bluff, so he needs to be... This is a very reasonable spot to take some time, be balanced, be consistent. Of course, he's always going to make a big raise here, but...
Oh, there it is. There's pot, and let's see Blez's face. Ugh.
And just frustration on the face of Jerry Bleznick there.
And Bleznick, by the way, now down to 1.4 million chips. He hasn't had this few chips since midway through day 2. NZT48 up your game. And, yeah, like I said, we talked about this earlier. The longer this goes on, the more likely I am going to use the ultimate brain booster, NZT48.
Let's see what Chidwick does with this double-suited 10-10-6-3. The type of hand that we've seen him fold similar hands on the button in previous stack distributions. Now with the chip lead, I expect him to at least call and possibly raise this hand. And he does come for call. Ike always enjoys his pot odds. He's been putting the extra 40 in with a lot of marginal hands like this, which is reasonable, of course, getting 7-1 on your money.
Is there ever, I mean, does he stop doing that? The fact that Blez has been potting this a lot, or?
Yeah, he may have to be a little bit more careful if he thinks that he's going to face a lot of pots from Bleznick. Bleznick's so unpredictable, though. Sometimes he pots hands you don't expect. Sometimes he checks hands you don't expect.
Yeah.
It's really hard to prepare for his tactics.
Yeah, this one he's going to check. Kind of a raggy-looking 10-7-6-3 with one suit.
Yeah, and quite dominated by Stevie's 10-10-6-3.
A lot of clubs out there. Bleznick has the only club in his hand. It is, he does not have the flush draw, though.
4s and deuces for Haxton, but a very unexciting spot to flop 2 pair. Bottom 2 on a 3 flush on a monotone board.
From the looks of it, this looks like a boring hand, which means something amazing is going to happen.
What could even happen? There's no 10s left in the deck, so Chidwick can never hit a set. It's really hard to imagine this pot getting interesting, but you never know. Now Bleznick improves here to the nut straight. So does Chidwick. Bleznick's also got a redraw to go with it. You see Chidwick, it says 0%, but again, that's reflecting the fact that he's 0% to scoop the pot, quite likely to chop the pot with Bleznick, assuming no bets go in. I think this street will check through.
A bit emphatic finger check from one Jared Bleznick. Chidwick on the button with the chips. And, well, they're not straight right now.
Bleznick hoping to hit a 3 or an 8 to improve to a better straight. Haxton still holding on to the hope of filling up. Chidwick probably thinks there's a decent chance his hand is best, and he does come with a bet. A lot of the time you're going to think your hand is best here, but still check because it's hard to get too much value from worse, and flushes should still loom in some of the ranges.
Haxton gets away from it.
And I think Blez is going to call this. He does have the 10 of clubs blocker. Chidwick could be stabbing with some air, some single heart hands, sorry, single club hands.
There's the call.
And
5,000 chip bet. There's the call now. Pot's 530,000, sorry.
I was just going to say I expect the river to go check check here. Chidwick wasn't so much bluffing on the turn. He was getting some thin value, and yeah, they're going to chop it up.
Straight.
10s.
How does Stevie not say the classic recreational, you play that garbage?
They just do the trainer in Halifax and then do the cold plunge Sonic thing when I'm here. By the way, just going back to that ace-ace 7-6 that Bleznick limped and tried to trap, I'm not sure I love that play against Stevie. Stevie doesn't strike me as the guy who's going to be getting super out of line raising Bleznick's limps with marginal hands. So I think I would rather just raise his hand, especially when he's this short. Picking up the big blind and the ante actually adds a decent amount to his stack. And Chidwick's going to have a lot of hands that can call, and you get this low SPR situation.
Bleznick's already done that before, too. I mean, it was only, I want to say, I don't know, maybe 20, 30 minutes ago.
It wasn't long
Bleznick did
ago.
that with the ace-queen and he actually got Chidwick to fold the ace-jack.
Fold a pretty strong hand, but just Chidwick's not the guy who's just going to raise junk the way. If Bleznick was playing against himself, he might be a good opponent to do that against, because we've seen Bleznick just raise some of these really junky hands out of the big blind facing small blind limp.
Bleznick with a gut shot and jacks. Jacks are good right now, but does he know that?
Yeah, Stevie's got the ace of spades working for him, and very weak showdown value. So let's see if he turns his hand into a bluff on some runouts.
Queen of diamonds on the turn. Jacks are still good.
Neither player loves that card. If the turn were to go check, check, Jared would pick up some bluff outs on the 10, the 9, or the ace if he so chooses.
Bleznick checks. Stevie with just 8% equity, but can he get Bleznick to fold? Not a huge pot, but for Bleznick with just 18 big blinds, every pot significant at this point.
Stevie does have the ace of spades, but besides that, not a ton of removal to the hands he's trying to get.
10 seconds.
Not a ton of removal to interaction with the board, I should say. So he doesn't have a jack, 10, king, or queen in his hand. He does have a nice hand to bluff with now, though, because not only does he have the ace of spades, but he also has several blockers to the straight, which
The
is
4 and the 9.
The 4 and the 9. Bleznick here himself has a straight. He has a bluff catcher and likely will pick off the bluff if Chidwick were to bet. But I kind of like bluffing this combo as Stevie, because you can get Bleznick to fold some 2-pair combos, a lot of 1-pair stuff, and again, you just have, at this point, you went from having bad blockers on the turn to having good blockers now because of what came in. Having the 9, the 4, and the ace of spades all really working for you. But Bleznick,
Yeah, this is
Bleznick
honestly, it's
has
just really
hand.
unlucky because it's a good spot. I mean, you block a lot of the straights. It just turns out that Bleznick's got the straight.
Yeah. All the hands that you were hoping, all the hands that you would have had a hard time getting to fold the turn, a lot of those hands are now going to fold the river, the queen, jack, 10, stuff like that. But Bleznick just has the goods here with the straight with the spade blocker. It makes a very quick call and a good one.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not personal, obviously.
No, of course.
Settled.
I called you. I just want to see the hand.
Of course.
I'm not getting any information from anyone. I haven't looked at my phone in 10 hours. My information is playing here.
No one is complaining.
Welcome back. It is 1:40 a.m. in Las Vegas. We are at the PokerGO studio, just a short walk away from Aria Resort and Casino. My name is Remco Rinkema. Donnie Peters alongside me as we are still awaiting the epic conclusion of Super High Roller Bowl PLO, the inaugural edition with a very good and slow structure, is yet to be decided as 3 players battle for the top prize that's just shy of $1.3 million. The final 3 guaranteed $570K. You can listen to David Tuckman and Alex Livingston on PokerGo.com. My Donnie and I are live on YouTube, Twitch, Pluto TV, Xumo, Freevee, Fubo TV, Sling TV, Local Now, Sports Tribal, and Plex. There you go. Live in all those places. So if you're watching on any of one of those platforms that doesn't have live chat, please hit us up on Twitter.
Not
Let us know
100%.
if you're watching, if you're having fun. It's been an epic one, Donnie. A marathon.
It's been a marathon. A lot of firsts, a lot of wackiness. Normally it's kind of a gradual progression, and then eventually we just get knocked off the rails. I feel like we've just been off the rails from the get-go. We've never been on the rails.
Right. Very good point. By the way, I must show my love and appreciation for all those that have stuck around for all these hours. It's absolutely incredible to see you all still in the chat. I see you. I recognize you. I know that some of you guys, switched jobs during this live stream, graduated college, moved out of your parents' basements.
Had children,
Yeah.
watched them grow up and graduate high school probably.
Exactly. Time is a flat circle, and here we are, still in the studio. Chidwick raising it up to 375.
10 seconds.
Action on Haxton with Jack 10-5 deuce. He's going to make the call. Okay. We're playing some bigger hands here right off the bat. Deuce, 8 rainbow flop out there. Haxton flops 2 pair. Dole Brunson 10 deuce. if you've joined us in the switch over to the new feed because we hit 12 hours. Don't forget, you got to like the new video too. That's how it goes. That's how it works. Chidwick checks. Action on Haxton.
Second.
300.
300,000.
Haxton bets 300K. Chidwick with a handful of backdoors, but nothing going so far. Let's go. Moving on to the next hand.
Maury still here? It's all right.
Speaking of time as a flat circle, these next two blind levels.
Yeah, and after the next two levels, Donnie, the blinds are going to start going down again. How about that? And then we're going to add another player. And then before you know it, we're going to be up to 38 players again. Should be raising it up.
Pot.
Wow. Emphatic from Bleznick with ace, king, king, 8. Comes over the top from the big blind.
We're all in.
1.425.
Well, you're all in, but Chidwick hasn't called yet.
I was going to say.
Aaron Katz just walking up on the set like there's a showdown.
Chidwick thinking about whether this is the hand he's going to commit with. Look at this. Chidwick just making the call.
No, he's just calling. He's,
What?
Appreciate that.
Bleznick not up to speed on the latest tournament strategies. All right, Bleznick fires it in blind. Ace, queen, 10, 3 diamonds on the flop. Chidwick makes the call. Flops an ace, but he is in trouble against the better ace of Bleznick.
We're all in.
Bleznick not all in. Chidwick is all in. He has 6 outs twice. How many more people are we going to let up on stage is the question.
We've stopped caring. Okay, I mean, if you want to go out there, just walk right on up, man.
I mean, we have the best hand by a lot.
For what it's worth, I feel like we haven't changed the dealer in forever.
It's the jack. Jack or a king.
Chidwick looking for a 9 or a 7, or else Bleznick will send him to the rail, and we will be heads up after 13 hours of play.
Thank you.
Jack on the turn
That card. I deserve
seals the deal.
Go. Good game, too.
Steven Chidwick eliminated in 3rd place. What a battle it has been. Chidwick was chip leader for quite a portion of this final table. Now takes home $570K for finishing in 3rd place. Jared Bleznick versus Isaac Haxton.
Okay.
That will be our heads-up battle. Look at this. We get a hug. Let's go. And a little.
He walked over. He said, "Give me a hug."
I love this. Isaac Haxton with the lucky shirt. Blez
Good luck.
with the sports cards. Oh, double hug. Double hug. That's a first. That's a first in the studio. Mark it down. Put it on Wikipedia. The first.
I like how earlier Bleznick went from "I'm free rolling the whole tournament" to now being like, "I deserve this all in." Like,
incredible stuff here.
Give us a 10-minute break. Give us 10 minutes.
All right.
You just had 15.
They just had a 15-minute break, but there's a little wrinkle here.
Okay.
The cash and the ring need to be put onto the table. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going on a break again. Just a quick one to get ready for heads-up play. Isaac Haxton versus Jared Bleznick. This could be an epic heads-up battle. 6.7 million to 4.6 million. These two guys are going to battle it out for who will become the inaugural Super High Roller Bowl PLO champion. 1.3 million up for grabs, and the diamond ring, and of course the honors of posing with that big pile of cash. We're going to get this heads-up battle ready, so we're taking a little break. Thank you all so much for being with us. This tournament is finally getting closer to reaching its conclusion. See you guys in just a few minutes. All right, we are back yet again, but this time we are back for the heads-up battle between Isaac Haxton and Jared Bleznick. 2 players remain in Super High Roller Bowl PLO, the inaugural edition of this 100K buy-in event. David Tuckman and Alex Livingston are on the call on PokerGo.com, while myself, Rem Brinkema, is still joined by Donnie Peters as Isaac Haxton takes perhaps what looks like a brief little nap here in his lucky shirt. He looks to go back-to-back as far as Super High Roller Bowl titles go. He won Super High Roller Bowl 8 just last month. And sports cards entrepreneur, the Blez, Jared Bleznick, he is looking for the biggest win of his live tournament career. The diamond-encrusted ring is on the line, as is $1.3 million. The final 2 are guaranteed $836,000. Donnie, even though we are approaching the finish line, it feels as though this match is far from over.
I don't see a finish line. I just, I mean, I'm jaded at this point.
Isaac Haxton has an immaculate record in heads-up play. Same cannot be said for Jared Bleznick. How much of an edge does Haxton have here? If we go by chips, it's 59% to 41%.
Yeah, but Bleznick's game is head up, pot limit Omaha.
10 million hands.
10 million hands of head up, pot limit Omaha.
He said it himself.
I mean, these players aren't incredibly deep. I mean, 90 big blinds between them, average of 45. So, you know, it's not... They're deep-ish, you know. They do have some maneuverability in their stacks, but these aren't 100 or 200 big blind stacks that they're working with, so... I think it's going to be a battle. I think the heads-up pot limit Omaha experience, I would give Bleznick the nod, but he's at a chip disadvantage, and I think maybe the tournament stuff, Haxton might be a little bit more experienced, and you know, Bleznick's experience, at least from what I understand, it is largely in cash game format. So, will the tournament aspect of things, those dynamics, lean towards Haxton? So probably pretty even overall here. And of course, I mean, you can't thumb your nose at the heater that Haxton's been on this year. Guy's won more than $13 million already. It's not even November yet. Probably going to see a lot of small ball poker, a lot of limped pots pre-flop would be my guess. Certainly don't want to be taking any hands off on the button play in position after your opponent has to put in the big blind and the big blind ante. $250,000 is the bet here on the turn. Limped pre-flop, check on the flop. Haxton makes the call. Haxton has the best of it right now, but a lot of draws out there for Bleznick that don't come home.
Sixes.
Nines. I thought we were showing hands.
Sixes, nines.
Let me see.
Ace, queen, 9-9.
Your clubs?
I had one club.
Spades, queen, spades.
To me, it seems as though both these guys are not playing this strictly for the
That
money.
was 6-6.
What?
You had 6-6-5-2
What?
with clubs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The prestige of winning this event, posing with the ring, is going to be worth a lot. And I'll venture to guess that for Bleznick, it means even more because he doesn't play tournaments all that much. He is a sports cards entrepreneur. And to have that winner photo, Donnie, have it printed out, hanging in your office, that's worth quite a bit. Can't understate the
What's he
value
open to?
of a legacy.
What is pot? How much?
Pot would be 375.
Okay.
Good. 5,
10 million hands.
300.
300.
I mean,
Call.
I really don't understand.
it's 3 times the big blind.
Check.
We're heads up, right? I mean, the big blind ante doesn't count pre-flop. It seems pretty simple to me.
$450. Call.
Photographer Antonio Abrego asks if we're good over here. No, we're not. Okay?
We haven't been good in
It's
a while.
2 in the morning.
Yeah. We are not.
We lost being good 4 hours ago.
When Isaac Kempton busted, that's when I snapped.
I mean, I feel like us here,
10 seconds.
the staff. I mean, you know, we're kind of required to be here, but it also, in a way, it's like the viewers. We've come this far, and now
Right.
we have to see
Yep.
it through.
Yep.
There's no choice. You just can't have given up, 12, 13 hours of your life and then not see the end.
I mean,
You have to at least see the end. We've all come this far.
at this rate, I might not make it till the end. 7 players down to 1. Been playing over 13 hours already.
Ten seconds.
Is that 9?
900,000.
Call.
Call.
Paxton makes the call of 900K on the end. Bleznick is going to show him the flush. Backing into those diamonds there. Big pot, more than 3.4 million out there. Going Blez's way. And Bleznick is in the chip lead, Remco.
Wow. Bleznick has had an unbelievable day. Here's a look at those updated chip standings. Jerry Bleznick now 49 big blinds to Haxton's 42. Can he pull it off? Let me know in the chat. Do you think that Jared Bleznick can take this thing down? Or is Isaac Haxton simply too savvy to let this thing slip out of his hands? here potentially. Bleznick flopping 2 pair. Haxton with a straight. No flush
250.
draws in play.
250.
This could cause some damage. But of course,
Man,
Bleznick,
he's too good.
he's too sharp.
He's too good.
He's made
He
so
just-
many good folds.
He just gets away. Like, it's not even a question. And he doesn't even. It's not like he, lose a bet then fold the turn. That's what. No, just right now, just fold. Just fold the 2 pair. No big deal. Just in the muck.
Call. Check. Check, check. 300.
Bleznick takes that one there with a bet on the turn.
Does feel like there's a bit more gravity to each hand when you play heads up. Of course, things can get out of hand quickly with the amount of draws and possibilities, but right now, with the stacks 49 to 42 big blinds, it really starts to matter whether or not you can pick up perhaps, 3 or 4 small pots in a row. It's going to have a big advantage.
Call.
Another limped pot here. Queen 10-5. 2 spades. Bleznick doesn't flop anything but draws, and he's still got 58% on this hand. Haxton's only working with a pair of deuces right now.
250.
250.
250 is the wager from Haxton. Bleznick check folds there. Heads up poker for you. Heads up PLO poker, let me say. I mean, I think we're going to see a lot of limping, a lot of small ball. Maybe eventually we'll see some hands clash, but it's probably going to take quite a bit with these 2 players, They're both extremely well versed. Don't get too crazy, too out of line.
I mean, while you all are at it here on our new feed after we basically ran YouTube into the ground by streaming for 12 hours straight, might as well hit that like button on the new video. Let's see if we can hit 500 on the new video. I'm going to add this to the tally of the previous stream.
Of course. I mean, it's a joint effort.
It's a joint effort indeed.
All right, Bleznick limping in with the 8-6-4-4, and Haxton's got a decent one. Heads up. Ace,
75.
King, Jack, 3, double suited. He raises the pot to 375. Blez gives it up, and Haxton takes this one.
It really feels like we're waiting for a big clash, a cooler, if you will. Not
There's just about one big blind separating these two players.
By the way, if you're into poker live streams and poker content, I also can just tell you that sometimes you might not be able to watch a full live stream. Just follow us on Twitter. Sam and Joseph do a great job putting short clips and GIFs on our Twitter page, and seeing the hug between Haxton and Bleznick in a GIF form is really warming my heart.
I almost feel bad for Alex Livingston. He like doesn't do commentary.
Right.
Comes out here and he's just dealing with like a 14-hour day.
Yeah.
Alex, I know you can't hear me, but it's not always
It's
like
not-
this.
Yeah. Well, even when we did the WSOP streams last year, or actually, it feels like a year ago, but it was still this year. Even then, most final tables were done in 8 hours.
Yeah, no, they weren't too crazy. Nothing was really that crazy. Yeah, I just imagine Livingston leaving. Like, never again. Never doing that again.
Don't call me. Lose my number.
Alex Livingston and David Tuckman are over on the PokerGO main feed. I was listening to a bit of that commentary yesterday while I was at home, and Livingston is quite the PLO expert. You can learn a lot by listening to him.
Yeah, you won't learn a lot from us, but you might have fun. Wiz Collectible says, incredible seeing all the card community in here. Yeah, it's been awesome having you guys all follow along with Bleznick's deep run in this event.
Check.
Huh?
Check.
King.
King, queen.
Kings and queens.
All right, this one goes to Haxton.
Well, 10-10-5 deuce here for Bleznick on the button. He limps on in. Let's see what Haxton wants to do here.
Pot.
375 for
375 it is. Going with the Blez pose, backwards chair.
Yeah, I gotta try to find a new way to sit.
Bleznick makes the call here in position. I'm just trying to stand up because it keeps me awake.
Right.
Ace, queen, 4, 2 clubs here. Haxton with the best of it. It's kind of trippy when they show the flop cam and the cards are all red and black, and then you go back out and the graphics are blue and green and all these different colors.
525.
525.
$525,000 is the bet from Haxton. Bleznick gives it up, and Haxton is back out in front now and stretching out a little bit of a lead here. So kind of just a little bit of a back and forth so far. Haxton started the heads-up match with the chip lead. Bleznick won a couple pots, got himself into the lead. Now it's Haxton back out in front, but still pretty close. Just about 9 big blinds separating these two players. Currently just about 90 big blinds in play in total, so an average stack of 45 big blinds. Deep-ish, not super deep, as I was saying earlier, but it's like deep enough they're not just going to get the money in, but it's also not like super deep that they don't need to, you know, be cautious with what they're doing. 8-4-3 here in a limped pot. Bleznick first to act. He's got a straight draw. He checks, and Haxton with that bottom pair of threes.
$250.
250.
250K is the bet from Axton. That gets it done.
Oh man, I'm just off a cliff right now. I'm so.
Remco's looking at photos on his computer. I won't say what he's looking at, but
no,
good lord.
I randomly click on Facebook, which I will admit I don't spend a lot of time on Facebook. The first thing that shows up is Greg Raymer with his cat.
Oh man. Bleznick limping in here on the button. King, Queen, 9-6. He's got diamonds in his hand.
375.
Haxton is going to pot this one. I feel like Haxton's been the one doing all the pre-flop raising. And, you know, we've seen some flops, but hasn't really been too much pre-flop aggression from Bleznick.
1 more quarter, or 2 quarters.
375, sir. There you go. All right, here we go. Heads up to the flop. Let's go. 3 deuce deuce. Haxton's got that pair of threes right now. He's also got a gut shot to the wheel and some overcards. Bleznick doesn't really connect at all, so.
10 seconds.
150.
150.
$150,000 is the bet from Haxton.
Call.
All right, what's Blez cooking up here with this call, huh? Huh? Ace on the turn. Is this a little float? Try and take it away on a later street from Bleznick? He doesn't really have much to work with. I mean, even nothing there like backdoor wise. Backdoor pair draws.
Yeah, there's got to be some kind of game plan here.
I mean, listen, Bleznick is the heads-up PLO specialist, so I will lean to trust him until I'm proven otherwise. Haxton checks. Bleznick checks behind. 7 of diamonds on the river. Almost feel like Bleznick had a plan, and then that ace came, and he said, well, that's just not a good card for me to continue with this plan. So, as you mentioned earlier, Bleznick has shown quite a bit of times he's not really married to one course of action. He's been adjusting with every street.
Pot. Pot.
1.175.
Wow, Haxton just keeps on firing.
1,175,000.
Into the muck it goes for Bleznick, and Haxton's going to extend his lead here. Haxton now up over 7 million.
Haxton's starting to sound like Bane a little bit here during late hours of the night.
That lucky shirt is back on display once again. Pretty soon, I mean, all the winter photos of Haxton are just going to look the same. Same shirt, same glasses. Got the mask on.
What if I told you?
Pile of cash.
Isaac Haxton is going to win every tournament from here on out.
I mean, I'd believe it. He's got to get through Jared Bleznick, though. Earlier at this final table, Bleznick was commenting to Chidwick and Haxton about how they just fight. They wouldn't give up anything. Wouldn't, you know, every time you try and take a single chip from him, it was crazy hard to do. Bleznick in his own right, you know, certainly hasn't given up at all. Hasn't just, you know, punted it off. He's been fighting right there. Every single hand, every single action. He's made some really disciplined folds, some folds that, you know, those of us, myself included, that aren't PLO experts by any means would kind of be like, wow, I would have called there and lost some chips, but, you know, Bleznick is just really playing his A game here.
Oh, you're also on your A game, Donnie. You got more energy than me right now. I'm completely fading.
Yeah, you know, I'm just... I don't have much of it left, that's for sure. Queen 9-6 Rainbow. Bleznick had potted this one on the button. Haxton made the call from the big blind. Check here. Six of clubs pairs the board on the turn. Bleznick still best here. He's got a pair of sevens. Well, two pair, sevens and sixes. He's also got a straight draw. Haxton also with a straight draw of his own.
10 seconds.
Heads up PLO must be one of the games that's least played. You know, like you don't get a heads up PLO cash game going all that often.
No, I mean it was probably a bit more prevalent when, you know, online poker was booming, when, you know,
Isildur versus Brian Hastings.
Yeah, you know, players in the U.S. could battle on Full Tilt, battle on PokerStars, all that sort of stuff, you know. I think these two even said that they've had some battles in the past. I think that was something that kind of, you know, in a way led to that double hug earlier, you know. Two OGs right here. You got Blez, you got Haxton. They've been doing it forever, and now they meet heads up in the first ever Super High Roller Bowl PLO.
Donnie, does it stand out to you how Bleznick has not said a word since heads up play has started?
Yeah, I mean, he's locked in now. No more fun and games, man. This is serious now.
We are playing for the title and $1.3 million. Haxton currently sitting on a 2-1 chip lead, sort of quietly amassing that 2-1 chip lead. Reminiscent, Donnie, of his battle versus Andrew Lichtenberger in the Super High Roller Bowl 8.
Yeah, and in that battle, you know, it was Isaac Haxton would just like grind, get Chewy short. Chewy would win a big pot or double up or whatever, and then he would grind, and then he wouldn't be able to finish him off, and then he'd grind, you know, and then eventually he finished him off. Maybe that's what we'll see here.
7, 5, 8, 2 hearts on the flop. Lots of hearts to go around. It'll be a good bet to make to say no more hearts will come out, as both players have 3 in their hands. There's 2 on the flop already.
Got a straight flush draw working here too.
A clean one too. No dead outs. A heart, of course, could mean disaster for Bleznick.
450.
And Haxton is going to charge him.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen, as Bleznick fold, I don't think we've seen Bleznick just chase too many like naked flush draw stuff like that.
Yep.
Not that we've really seen any players, you know.
It's really impressive.
Especially ones that aren't, you know, the nut flush draw.
Right, but it's impressive to watch and a good reminder for, you know, when I play PLO every now and then that, you know, it is totally okay to just wait for the next opportunity when you do have multiple draws.
Mm-hmm. Queen, queen, jack 4 double suited, spades and hearts for Bleznick, limps in on the button, jack 7 4 deuce for Isaac Haxton in the big blind. Would imagine we see a check, and that is what we see. King jack 7, rainbow. Haxton checks and Bleznick comes with 200,000. Haxton currently has the best of it with that jack 7 for 2 pair. It is bottom 2 pair though, and oftentimes you want to take bottom 2 pair a little bit more cautiously with your approach.
650.
Haxton says, you know what? Let's just kick it up.
He doesn't care what you think, Donnie.
That's right. 650K. I mean,
he's
heads
gonna
up.
raise it up.
Heads up. Let's go.
Head up.
Head up. Head up. That's right. I don't think Bleznick's taking his head up off this. It looks like a pillow. I mean, it's his fleece, but it looks like a pillow.
I mean, it's as big as the pillow, that's for sure.
10 seconds. Time extended.
Bleznick finally needing a time extension. Hasn't happened a whole lot at this final table other than those few times that he opened some boxes of baseball and basketball cards.
10 seconds. Time extended.
Oh, we're gonna
Did you say
It's like a re-raise to me.
wow, back over the top here
1.2
for
million?
Bleznick, making it 1.2 million, clicking it back, committing a large portion of his chips on this. You know, it's a relatively dry board. King Jack 7, not the scariest thing out there. Tony, why do you think Bleznick is doing this? He doesn't have, you know, any precise blockers, so to say.
Well, I mean, he does have a jack, which lessens the chance that
10 seconds.
Ike Haxton has 2 jacks in his hand for a set of jacks. Haxton checked the big blind, so, I mean, I know we have seen some times when it's been a little bit more passive pre-flop with 2 kings in your hand, but heads up, probably a little bit different. Haxton probably going to want to raise 2 kings pre-flop. He didn't. You also have 2 queens, lessening the possibility of some straight combination, or straight draw combinations of, you know, the queen 10s, the ace queens of the world.
10 seconds.
Again, maybe some combos of the ace queens as well, probably raise pre-flop, which he didn't. So, wow, I think this is all around a good read there.
What? 2 from him.
From
2 from
Bleznick.
him.
Very well done from Jared
Before
Bleznick.
it went on.
One of the better
No.
hands
No?
of his final table.
What's going on?
2, please. 1.
Jared Bleznick did use 2 time extensions there. He owes those, but he's going to collect this pot. Close the gap a little bit between him and Isaac Haxton. Well done there from the Blez. Let us know what you think in the chat. You like that That little click back from
I hope you had something
Jared
good there.
Bleznick.
What?
Said I hope you had something good there.
You'll see it in 20
Up over
minutes.
400 likes on the video. Let's see if we can get us up over 500 in the next minute or
not be a
two. Hit
mystery
that
for
like
long.
button if you are joining
It
us.
will not be a mystery for long.
Appreciate everyone who is tuning in here on YouTube. Also on Twitch, Pluto, Zumo, Freebie, Fubo, Sling, Local Now, Sports, Tribal, and Plex. My name is Donnie Peters. This is
I was hoping you had
heads up
something
action between Isaac Haxton and Jared Bleznick in the first ever Super High Roller Bowl PLO $100,000 buy-in, the largest buy-in pot limit Omaha tournament in poker history. These guys here are playing heads up for a $1,292,000 first place prize. Haxton is going for his third Super High Roller Bowl title. He won Super High Roller Bowl 5 back in 2018. He recently won Super High Roller Bowl 8 a few weeks ago. And now he is one spot away from winning the first ever Super High Roller Bowl PLO. If he does get this title, Isaac Haxton, he would tie Justin Bonomo for most Super High Roller Bowl titles. Justin Bonomo also has 3. Limped pot here. Check, check on the flop. Brings us to this turn. Monotone board. Bleznick has 2 pair with the 4s and deuces. Check, check again here on the turn. Ace of diamonds on the river. Now for those of you out there who might be new to Pot Limit Omaha, that 9 of diamonds that Haxton has in his hand, can't play it. I mean, he can play it, but can't play it for a flush is what I mean, because in Pot Limit Omaha, you have to use 2 cards, and you can only use 2 cards. It's not like Hold'em where, you know, you can use 1 from your hand, you could possibly play the board, you can use, of course, the 2 in your hand. No, Omaha is get 4 cards, have to use 2, and can only use 2. But Haxton wins that one there with a bet of 375 on the river. Saw someone in the chat asking about Jared Bleznick's career live tournament earnings. I think it's just over $2.7 million. Doesn't put in a lot of volume these days. You know, and if he does, you know, it's probably mostly online cash games. Usually of the heads-up variety. Limp from Isaac Haxton here. Raise the pot from Jared Bleznick. And Haxton makes the call. Here we go. Ace-8 for 2 diamonds. Bleznick takes the lead. Takes the lead in a big way on this flop.
I just went for a run, Donnie.
Did you really go for a run?
I ran all the way to the valet and back just to get some blood flow
Get that
going.
blood flow, that's right.
Because I was standing up, falling asleep, which has really never happened to me.
Well, you already sound more awake, so.
I'm back. I'm back. Haxton still, from the looks of it, comfortable with that chip lead. Gives this one up. Allows Bleznick to take one down.
Yeah, just some small pots so far. Nothing too crazy. No real big clashes just yet.
Budakritz asking, why doesn't Haxton have trip kings? Well, you have to use 2 cards from your hands, both minimum and maximum. So the best he has is 2 kings. Of course, if a king appears on the table, he would have then have 3 kings.
You know, I say it all the time when I'm in my industry about when I break cards, that it's the greatest free entertainment in the world. Everyone at home watching this is, you can't ask for something more. You know, two of the greatest to ever play this game. Seriously, you can't ask, and they're getting it for free. They can make it. Imagine if we did this on a pay-per-view, people would pay a lot.
No response from Isaac Haxton. I mean, it's great. It's great. I mean, I want to know what the cost of that pay-per-view Bleznick thinks.
We gotta hire him.
Check. $300,000.
Bleznick bets 300K here on the flop. Opening a straight draw, no flush draw. Haxton flops all the pairs, all of them, every single one.
875.
875.
Raised it up to 875. We could see this develop into something more. Donnie, if only Bleznick had the spades.
If only, huh?
Like you said, he doesn't really go for it too often with just one bare type of draw. Very bare draw, and again, it ends up in the muck. Would checking behind perhaps have been a smarter approach, Donnie?
I mean, he probably takes it down there a fair bit with that bet. I mean, it is heads up. You know, your opponent can just totally whiff.
Call.
Another button limp here, this time courtesy of Isaac Haxton. Bleznick in the big blind.
Check.
And he checks.
Is there anyone in the chat who's been there since the beginning?
There's got to be some. Got to be some.
Closing in on 500 likes on the second stream that we've started. The first one ran for 12 hours. We had to move on over to a new location, and here we are. Smash that like button if you're enjoying the content still after all this time. It almost feels like we've watched multiple tournaments here. This one being a heads-up PLO tournament between these two greats. Queen, queen, 7, 10 falls on the turn. Bleznick with the best of it in this situation where neither player really has anything.
275.
275. Fold.
Andre says, I turned it on at lunchtime during work. Still watching, I believe must be the following day. Hugh says, I've left for a few hours here and there.
Call.
Bleznick decides to call. 31 big blinds, still plenty deep. Ten, 9, 4, 2 hearts.
Check.
Haxton's flop of 9s and 4s puts him well in the lead.
Check.
Pot.
Pot bet from Haxton with his 2 pair. Bleznick also with 2 pair. Inferior though, 4s and deuces. Not a whole lot of opportunity to improve here for Bleznick on the river.
Time extension.
Raise pot.
1.5.
Oh, wow. Bleznick goes for it. Raises pot here on the turn.
Fold.
And Haxton has no other option but to lay this one down. Selective aggression from Jared Bleznick, getting it done. Very impressive. This battle, although it's seemingly never-ending, has been very entertaining. Look at this, Tony. We hit over 500 likes on our second feed.
You love to see it.
You
You just love to see it.
Call.
How many people have been watching the whole time? Was there a few, or was there any?
There's plenty of people who did indeed switch majors, go to a new school, move across country.
Yeah.
Pot.
The majority, though, have been coming in and out of the feed, which I highly respect and appreciate. But also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because if you do and you hit the notification bell, you get notified whenever we post something cool and exciting on our channel. And I promise you, most of our clips are not 12 hours long. Started a new poll in the chat. We've been watching these guys play heads up for a while now. Haxton or Bleznick, who's going to take it down when it's all said and done?
What's in the pot?
875 in the middle. Bleznick verifying the pot. He bets the size of the pot. It does feel like Bleznick is very comfortable in this format, Donnie.
Of course he is. This is his game. Heads up, pot limit Omaha. Big money on the line.
The players seemingly looking very sharp still. I think Donnie and I are dealing with more fatigue than the players at the table.
Check. Check. Check.
Action goes check check after a limp before the flop. Haxton's got a lock on this hand with his queen high flush. Don't see any way in which Bleznick loses any more chips.
Check.
Pot.
375. Seconds.
Bleznick does lay it down. Didn't invest any chips after limping on the button.
You want to just, if we're still playing, you want to just play through, or you want to break? I'd rather just play.
Do you guys prefer to just keep playing?
Yeah, I'd rather just play.
Yeah, I mean, we can take a break. Can we take a break just whenever we need to, if necessary, and just keep playing otherwise?
One or two hand warning.
I was
Yeah,
gonna-
sure.
So you can prep for it.
I just want to play because
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
Check.
Is that fair?
Yes.
Because I just looked over. I'm like, it's 15 minutes.
125 price, please.
Sounds great.
You know? Because you look like you're half asleep.
What?
There's a call.
Did you act?
I called.
Donnie, it is so impressive,
Hi.
the more I think about it, how these players generally, when they play cash, for example, play these 24-plus hours sessions sometimes and still remain focused.
Adrenaline, baby. It keeps you going.
So impressive. Queen 6-3, two spades on the flop. Haxton with the ace of spade blocker. Bleznick with the actual spade flush draw.
$500,000.
$500K is the bet from Bleznick with his flush draw. Haxton comes along, pair of sevens, ace blocker. Very intrigued to see how this will play out. Jack of diamonds hits on the turn, doesn't pair either player, gives Bleznick an additional gut shot straight draw. Already 3, 1.875 in the middle. We know that Bleznick is not a fan of doing something big with one draw, but now that he has 2 draws,
Check.
nope, still decides to check.
Seconds.
1.25.
1.25.
Oh wow, Haxton does decide to take control of this pot after calling on the flop with not a whole lot.
Fold.
Bleznick lets it go. Donnie, very well done here by Haxton.
Very,
Good
very well
Thank
done. Little tip of the cap there from Jared Bleznick. And Isaac Haxton stretches that lead out once again. Just about a 2-to-1 chip lead exactly for Isaac Haxton, as he gets a little bit closer to getting his 3rd Super High Roller Bowl title. Nice hand here for Bleznick. 10-9-8-7 double suited on the button.
Call.
He's going to limp in. Oh, and Haxton, ace, 10-8. Okay.
I just checked my notes. Ace, ace, very good.
Oh, yes.
Pot.
There is a pot. I can't imagine. Oh. Did he just snap, repot it? Wow.
Pot.
Oh.
1 million.
Hello. You have my full attention right now.
1125, right?
1125.
Isn't it? I'm pretty sure.
9 and 225. Yeah, 1125.
Is that right?
1.125. Action back on Haxton. How does it not all go in here right now?
Pot.
You said pot.
Pot. Yep.
Okay. So 3.275.
That is enough to put Jared Bleznick all in. He will be deciding for his tournament life.
1 million, there's 2.
All right.
All right, here we
There we
go.
go. Okay.
All in and a call.
Are you calling or going all in?
All in.
All in. Aces.
Call.
All right, Jared Bleznick runs into aces, and his hearts are dominated. He has 10-9-8-7 double suited. The hearts are what will
All right.
hurt Bleznick the most, Donnie. The aces, he might have anticipated.
I limp.
Yeah, the aces he might have anticipated, but
It's funny because he actually had me in bad shape.
he also covers that 10-8. He's got covers with the hearts,
yeah,
so I mean,
really not the aces you wanted to see.
tough spot here for Jared Bleznick. But hey,
Clubs.
still 5 cards to come.
Bleznick's tournament life on the line. If he wins, we will exactly flip stacks.
Flip. $400,000 flip.
2-to-1 chip lead for Haxton.
Huh?
If Bleznick wins, he will have a 2-to-1 chip lead.
Actually, no, that's not true.
But now, Haxton 5 cards away from taking this thing down. Here comes the flop. 9-3-4. Pair of 9s for Bleznick. Looking for a 9, a 10, an 8, or a 7.
3 of hearts.
Huh?
3 of hearts.
9 outs for Bleznick. Not looking too good for him. Turn card is the 8 of spades.
That's not a great card.
All of a sudden, Jared Bleznick, 1 card away from a massive double up. Isaac Haxton now only 8 outs to take this thing down here right on the spot. Ace 4 or 3 is what Haxton needs, otherwise play will resume. River card is the 5 of spades. And Jared Bleznick stays in the game. Wow. Like I said, Donnie, roles reversed. 2-to-1 lead now for Jared Bleznick.
3.850.
3,850.
You're at the final table. I had to fucking come out.
3 million.
Hey, hey.
4, 2 million.
I have to get a hand.
3 million. 5, 850. Jared?
You can't win if it breaks. I'm not. Get out.
All right, role reversal. Jared Bleznick now in the driver's seat. That was a thrilling hand. We are 14 hours into this final table and nothing has been decided as Bleznick and Haxton are still fighting it out for who will become the first ever winner of Super High Roller Bowl Pot Limit Omaha.
Pot.
375. Call.
Ace King 7, 2 diamonds on the flop. Bleznick, flush draw, pair. Haxton, bigger pair. Every hand seemingly running close.
Check.
So far, after Haxton raised the 375 before the flop, Bleznick called, flop and turn seemingly
Check.
going exactly right there. Check, check.
What's in there?
875.
Pot.
875.
Pod bet from Bleznick after hitting his flush on the river.
Call.
Call.
Flush.
Haxton makes the call.
Okay.
His 2 pair no good here. Donnie, look at this chip lead. The biggest one we've seen all day.
Jared there motioning to for his supporters to back up, you know, I feel like he senses it but also doesn't really want to be disrespectful to Isaac Haxton, so
you can see that you can see it in Bleznick's
also
face.
listen, it's not over till it's over.
Right,
you know,
right.
We've seen plenty of swings all throughout this final table, so you know, Bleznick knows he's got a big lead, but the job is not done yet.
The job is not done indeed. And also he's facing one of the toughest opponents in the world. He cannot afford any missteps. He cannot gift him an easy double up. Bleznick, even though he's never been closer to winning this tournament, needs to stay focused.
Call.
Goes back to limping. The safe approach.
Pot.
375.
Limp there. Haxton pots it. The A nice looking Jack 10-9-8, and
Where's Derek?
Bleznick gives it up.
Tell Derek to get his ass over here now. Call him until he picks up. You just flew in? You just got here? It's funny. I was just talking about you earlier tonight. I said how I'm good friends with you. Paul, what did I tell you? And then he shows up.
25 each.
I told him I'm good friends with you like 5 hours ago, and all of a sudden you're here. I'm not kidding.
Call. Check. Check.
Ace Queen 4 here on the flop. In a limped pot. Bleznick checks.
200.
Not too much there for Haxton, but he's going to take a stab and try and take this one down. 200K is the bet. Bleznick really not having too much either. I mean, he's got that pair of nines in his hand, but not too much else. Those raisin chips coming out. You're going to try and apply some more pressure here.
650.
There it is. 650 is the raise. Quick fold from Haxton. Wow.
It's like, what?
He's feeling it.
He's totally feeling it.
Absolutely feeling it again.
He's back to chirping and talking and.
Two hands, understood.
Like he almost right there, he wanted to be like, it's too easy. Like that's almost what he wanted to say. Like I'm in the zone, I'm locked in. I'm the best PLO player in the world. Let's go.
About directing tournaments, he's pretty damn good. He's the nuts. Paul is the nuts.
Donnie, if Bleznick wins this tournament, do you think he might be the first player to win a super high roller bowl who actually ends up wearing the ring on a daily basis?
I don't know, man. I mean, he might. You never know.
Check. Check. And 25. Seconds.
300.
300. Fold.
Bleznick 72 big blinds, Haxton on 19 bigs.
Check. Call.
Pot.
375.
Limp from Haxton on the button, 10-9-9-8. One suit, he's got hearts. Bleznick pots it.
Call.
Queen 8-4-3 double suited. Haxton's going to make the call, so here we go. Jack 6-5.
Jack 6-5 indeed, Donnie. Jack 6-5 means that Bleznick has an open-ended straight draw. Pair 9 still good here for Haxton.
Check.
Bleznick checks, neither player with any clubs.
Pot.
875.
Oh, look at this. Some aggression from Haxton, who knows that he needs to keep picking up some pots.
75, 150.
Yeah, and Bleznick gives it up. Haxton fighting back now.
Jared Bleznick wants to stay in his own personal zone, doesn't want the rail near him. Blinds have gone up ever so slightly. 75K, 150K. I was hoping we wouldn't need this level.
2.
I'm just hoping we don't need the next one.
725.
2.7?
Yeah.
The fact that there are so many more levels still on the structure sheet is a little worrisome. You know, sometimes it says, like, after a certain amount of levels, tournament director discretion. I always sort of envision that when we reach that point in any tournament, the TD is just going to go, you guys have had plenty of chances to play. This tournament is over. Chop it up. Let's go home.
I mean, they can do that. Their rule says they can do whatever they want.
Tournament
so, I mean,
director
let's
discretion,
go.
Donnie. Discretion.
10x the blinds and play a couple hands. Let's get out of there. Queen 10-8 here in a limped pot. Bleznick in position. Bleznick flopping the best of it here.
Check.
Nothing really there for Isaac Haxton. Except for that, you know, just the old 9 on the turn gives him a straight.
Check. Check.
Check, check 4 on the river.
Pot.
450.
Pot size bet from Haxton. Nothing for Bleznick to call with. He lets it go. Haxton now back up to 3 million. Still commanding a lead for Bleznick, but you know, one double up, as we just saw, can flip it all back into Haxton's favor.
Call.
Enrique says the problem is Haxton is so tough to play because he has so much patience. It's definitely a fact that patience is a virtue when you play any form of poker.
I mean, I know Bleznick is a little bit more animated, but he's been pretty patient overall, too. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
He hasn't just, you know, YOLO's chips in there. Like he's made some really disciplined folds when, you know, a lot of players would have put some more money in the pot. He hasn't really gone too crazy just because, you know, this is taking forever. He doesn't necessarily play a lot of tournaments, you know, all that sort of stuff that he was talking about earlier.
The interesting part, though, is that Haxton has showed it so many times already this year and in previous years that in these big spots, he doesn't let up. He stays focused and generally gets the job done. Thank you, Run Good Life, for the $5 donation. Where have you been? You've been gone for like 5 hours, it feels like. $5 donation saying, how much do I have to super chat for Jared to put a sheepskin hoodie and glasses back on? I mean, we have no communication with the main room, so that effort will be futile. But I do say that the old look was better than this look.
Call.
Bleznick again decides to just try and see a flop.
450.
Haxton is not going to allow that. And look at this. Bleznick tossing the cards almost into Haxton's face. Look at this. A little look at the fold. Look at the air these cards get. Bleznick must be involved in some professional card tossing. Maybe him and Chris Ferguson have chopped up some carrots and bananas in their day. Run Good Life saying that he was streaming sports cards breaks to his 42,000 followers for the last 10 hours. That is very impressive. Haxton raising with queens. Bleznick coming along with 9-5 3 deuce double suited. Hearts could get Bleznick into some trouble here. 9-4-7 rainbow flop. Bleznick flops a pair of nines. Haxton with the overpair. Very close odds here, Donnie.
Pot.
1,050,000.
Oh, wow. Pot bet from Bleznick. Haxton with the overpair, backdoor hearts, and a gut shot straight draw. We might see him go for it here.
Yeah, I mean, seems, I guess, as good a time as any that we've seen.
Bleznick also with a gut shot, a lower one.
All in.
Oh, there it is. Haxton moves all in.
Here we go.
Bleznick makes the call.
That's the problem.
Bleznick is going to need some help here, but he has a chance.
I like how he doesn't turn his hand over yet. Like he wants to see the other person's cards first.
14 outs here for Jared Bleznick. A 6, a 9, a 5, a 3, and a deuce would help him lock this thing up.
Oh, he's a favorite.
Oh, he's got the 8 first, right?
Yeah.
Cats on the scene still.
Thank you.
Bleznick awaiting his fate.
A 6. A 6 is mine.
Haxton at risk here. He is the one that should be worried. 9 on the turn gives Bleznick trips, and he is now one card away from winning the whole thing. Isaac Haxton needs a queen or an 8, only 6 outs, or this tournament is over. Ladies and gentlemen, what a turn of events here. We're waiting for the river card. It's not there for Haxton. Jared Bleznick wins Super High Rollerball Pot Limit Omaha. for just shy of $1.3 million.
You too.
What an insane final table. What an ending. And shout out to Isaac Haxton, runner-up for $836,000. Jared Bleznick.
You're amazing.
Overcome with emotion, so it seems.
I played so good.
Excuse me, he's just very confident and very happy with his own play here.
Good. I played so good.
He played very good. Indeed, Jared Bleznick. He impressed us for 14 straight hours, and there it is. The final results presented by StormX. Jared Bleznick on top. What an epic final table this has been. What a roller coaster ride. We've seen the chip lead start in the hands of Isaac Haxton. He lost it. He regained it. Chidwick took it. Haxton took it back. Bleznick was the leader for quite a while. Had a very bad level. Was on the brink of elimination. Made a comeback. And all of a sudden found himself heads up against a man who recently won Super High Rollerball 8 in the No Limit Hold'em variation. And then all of a sudden, Bleznick doubled up and closed it out. What an impressive showing by the PLO specialist. The sports cards entrepreneur, Jared Bleznick, takes this whole thing down. Let's head on over to Paul Campbell, who's going to hand over that beautiful Super High Roller Championship ring.
Jared, for a few years now, you've been asking me when we're going to run a big Pot Limit Omaha event. The inaugural Super High Roller Bowl, Pot Limit Omaha, you showed up for it. On behalf of PokerGO and RE Resort and Casino, I'd like to present you with the Super High Roller Bowl Pot Limit Omaha ring. Congratulations.
Thank you.
There it is. Jared Bleznick receives the ring from tournament director Paul Campbell. A little bit of a fist bump there. That ring sure is going to look good on the hands of Jared Bleznick. All right, that is the music, that is the cue, and that is, Donnie, the moment that we finally get to go to bed. It's been one heck of a ride. It's been a fantastic final table. Thank you all so much for watching. The PGG PLO series kicks off with live streaming on Friday. Don't miss that. For now, though, we are going to call it a night. It is almost 3:30 in the morning here in Las Vegas. Thank you for watching wherever you watched from. It was an epic showdown. And we'll be back for more PLO action on Friday. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.